Traveling Taylor here, and I am currently in the process of packing for a couple of different trips. So this video is going to be a little different from most because I'm just going to take you completely behind the scenes, walk you through my thought process of actually how a digital nomad packs. Okay, so here is the situation. I just got back from my summer in New York City, which was fabulous. And now I am headed to the Dominican Republic for a short 4-day vacation with my sister. And then I am headed to Greece to start my new job with Hacker Paradise as the community facilitator. So what that means is like I'm starting in Greece, but then every month I'm gonna be in a different location. The one thing that all these places have in common is that they're mostly all warm weather locations, so that is really going to help my packing. But I don't really have time between the DR and when I leave for Greece to pack. So right now, I'm trying to pack for both. It's a little bit of Tetris. My mind hurts just a little bit, but I have finished all my laundry and all my clothes are ready to just be like packed away. And so we're making a little bit headway. So first step in my process is I've actually just laid out my like 2 different suitcases. So I've made separate videos on both of these, but this is my bigger carry-on from away. And this is my medium-sized suitcase also from away. So what I think I'm going to do right now is take my smaller one to the DR because it's a shorter trip, and then take my bigger one to Greece. I feel a little conflicted about this, to be honest, because the medium size is just like, it's a little too big for me. I tend to overfill it and then it gets really heavy and I can't really carry it. So I might take it, but I'm gonna have to be really careful about my packing. But that is my thought process at the moment. And then next step is to actually, this is all my laundry that I did actually finish, and then I did fold, so that's good. We're making progress there, but I have not laid out what I'm taking where. I'm going to try to make 3 piles, a DR pile, a Greece pile, and a both pile. I'm hoping I don't have too many things to overlap, because then what I can really do is just like pack both suitcases, but that's not really gonna happen. There's some things that need in both of them, but that is what I'm doing next. Okay, so I've done okay. So this pile is DR only. This pile is both. And this pile is Greece only. So this is too much. I am going to have to take some things away, which is fine. That's kind of part of packing. So if you've ever heard the saying, like, pack your suitcase and then take out half and double the amount of money you have, like, that's the step that I'm at now. So I've laid everything out that I want to take, or I think I want to take, and I'm able to see how much that actually is. So now what I need to do is go and take out the excess. So what I'll do here, how I'll start, is I'll count like how many pairs of pants, how many like tank tops, how many of this, like I'll actually go through and count and see how much I have of everything. I'll also see, like, is there anything in here that I don't really love? Like if it's in my suitcase, so I not actually tend to wear it because I don't like the way that it feels, or just never like works for an occasion. I'll also see what I have that can be layerable. So anything that's more multifunctional is going to be a better thing to pack, especially for long-term travel. So like I'm going to be traveling at least until Christmas. So at least for the next 3.5 months. At that point, I might be able to come home and, you know, repack for the next season or something, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. So I'm kind of just thinking that I might be on the road maybe even 4 to 6 months at a time before being able to come home. And so that's kind of my thought process there, just making sure I have a variety of things, that I'm not like, I do have like a long sleeve shirt and I have a sweatshirt for cold nights because I know daytime is going to be pretty warm. But also keep in mind, this is what you're seeing right here, my clothes, like does not include like my swimsuits, my bras, my underwear, my socks. It doesn't include any of that. It doesn't include my toiletries or anything like that. So I really do need to cut down just a little bit. So we'll see how that goes here in a second. Okay, so I was able to remove 3 items in my first attempt, knowing that the next step is to put everything into my packing cubes, and that'll be the next time that I can see everything together and really get a sense of like if I feel like it's too much, and I need to maybe find 1 or 2 things to leave, or if I'm feeling good about where I am. So next step is packing cubes, which if you've watched my previous packing video, you'll know that I absolutely love these. I will not pack without them. So let's do that next. Okay, so these are my 2 main packing cubes that I'll be taking to the DR. And how I like to do it is I like to put like pants and bottoms in one, and then tops and dresses, onesies in another. So these are gonna be my 2 main ones. They'll sit side by side in my suitcase. And I pulled all my clothes down that I plan to take right now. I might change my mind. You never know. Also, during this part of the process, I'll pull out what I plan to wear to the airport. And I always try to wear the bulkiest stuff to the airport, to a certain degree. So we actually have these super cute matching tank tops. So I'm actually gonna be wearing this, probably with my leggings. I love having like the side pockets on my leggings at the airport. When you're dealing with your ID and your boarding pass and your phone, and there's just like so much going on. It's so nice just to be like, shoop. So I'll probably go really casual tomorrow with leggings, tank top, and then I always get cold. So I have this white button-up kind of like lightweight flowy shirt. Feels very beachy, so I will put that together and set that aside. So that is going there, so I don't need to pack those things. So I'll start usually just with the bottoms, and everything's already folded, which is honestly like half of the time is just folding. I do use the Marie Kondo folding method. So I'll put a link to my packing and folding video below. So if you want to learn more about the Marie Kondo folding method and why I love it so much, you can go watch that video. Okay, I don't feel like I have enough long sleeves in case I get cold, because I don't actually have any long sleeves in here. So I'm throwing in, I have the space, so I'm throwing in 1 more item of clothing. But that is clothing packed and done for trip number 1. Okay, there we go. So for this trip, I am packing a pair of nice wedges. I don't typically travel with these, but for this particular trip, there are some nice dinners that I need to dress up for. So I have dresses to go with that. And I'm gonna take these shoes to do that specifically, but these will not go to Greece with me. What I'm also taking is a pair of flip-flops for beach, something to kick on and off is super nice. And then I also have a pair of nicer sandals that have a back strap to them. They're really comfortable, so they're good for walking. So I just don't like walking in flip-flops like for long periods of time. But these aren't great when I go to the beach. They're actually super annoying. So in this case, I'll be traveling with both pairs of sandals. But I'm okay with that. So I also have these longer packing cubes, which I love because they'll fit really nicely like right here in front of my shoes. And then they also fit really well into my backpack. So if I ever want to put some packing cubes in my backpack, I'll throw them in that way. For now, this packing cube is going to hold my bathing suits. And then in this really small packing cube, I will throw in my socks, bras, underwear, and any like other just like miscellaneous smaller items that don't need to take up a lot of space. I also do use the method of stuffing things into shoes. So if I feel the need to do that, I might also do that with this suitcase. Bag one, pretty much packed. So I'm going to move on to bag two. Okay, so just seeing like what I have in my packing cube right now and seeing like how much space there still is, feeling good about this start. I'll feel differently, I know, once I start moving these items into this one, and I will likely get rid of stuff, more stuff at that point. It is kind of like a process to, you know, get everything in a pile and then like get rid of stuff as you will. But I will either on the video or in the description below, I will actually lay out what I ended up bringing for both trips. So you can actually see like, okay, how many dresses, how many pants, how many all of that. Whatever the tally is, you can always do less, right? Like I have gotten down to carry on only. Like I have the ability to pack very, very light. And I'm kind of just at a point in my life where I don't want to just get rid of stuff just to try to keep it light. I would actually, if it has a lot of purpose, if it's functional, if it brings me joy, like I do actually want to take it on the road with me. So that's kind of my litmus test for right now. But just so you know, I have actually gotten down to my bigger carry-on for multiple months at a time, and it was winter. So everything took up a lot more space. So it is doable to have less than what I have now. Okay, I've pretty much got bag two and number packed as well. I'm too tired to go through my toiletries tonight, so I'm going to wake up a little bit early and do those in the morning when my mind is just a little more fresh. Just wanted to show you a few more things that I do also choose to pack in my suitcase, but this is all personal preference. So my backpack is usually my carry-on item. I'll have my purse and my backpack, and then I check my luggage. And you'll notice I do choose to do a roller hard shell suitcase and not a like backpack. Again, personal preference. But in my backpack, I usually have my laptop. In this main section, I'll put in toiletries that aren't liquids or that can be carry on anyway. And then like if I have any like bulky clothes, if I'm happen to be reading a book or anything like that, it kind of goes into this section. It's kind of the catch-all section. And then in the front, I usually just keep all of my work stuff. So I do travel with like a notebook, and then I have like a smaller moleskin bag, obviously my passport. And then I have a tech compartment. I don't know what you call this. My brain's not working very well, but so it has like all of my techie, like my cords and my microphone and stuff like that. So that all goes in my backpack while I'm traveling. And then also in my checked luggage, I do travel with a hair dryer, in case ladies, unless you're wondering. I decided this during my very first year that I was just gonna do it and just travel with it because it just makes me feel better when my hair is dry. So I do travel with that. I do also now travel with a ring light for recording videos. So that is extra space that I have not really had to travel with before. And then I have lots of packable things. So like a packable rain jacket, and then I have a packable duffel bag. So if I do want to do like a weekend trip or maybe even just like a day on the beach or something, this is actually really nice. And this is also away. So yeah, so that is kind of the other things I have. I always carry with me, I have one in my backpack and one in my purse, that reusable shopping bags. So this is great if you just need to stop at the store or you go grocery shopping. I always use those. I've lived in 3 different places that have gone through plastic bag bans, so you just never know when you're gonna need one. And then I also usually carry my water bottle. So that is just the basics, really, of how I pack. I hope you found that helpful, sort of like my thought process. And then to finish all of this out, the next step that I do after like laying everything out, putting in packing cubes, putting it in the suitcase, seeing how it all fits, is I actually close the suitcase and I test how heavy it is. So I don't have a scale, like a suitcase scale, but my rule for myself is that whatever I pack and carry, I must be able to carry by myself at least up 1 flight upstairs. So if you've traveled at all, you will know if you're going through train stations or airports or old buildings where your hotel is, you may not have an elevator, or it may, you know, it may just be stairs. This has happened to me multiple times. So my rule for myself is I have to be able to carry it by myself up the stairs. So I will always test how heavy it is for me personally, and make sure that I can do that. So I think that's really my last tip when it comes to packing. It is a little bit of a process, but really at this point I pack the same way over and over. And if I hadn't been recording this video, I would have gone a little bit faster. But yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoy, and I hope that you have fun packing for your next trip. If you have any packing tips, please let me know. I always love it to make this more of an efficient and better process. So I am going to bed, and I will see you next week.